Okay, my name is Mary Caesar,
And can you spell that, please?
Marycaesar,
Okay, what community are you from, Mary?
from WATC, Yukon.
Okay, what residential school did you attend?
To Lower Post Residential School.
Norpost?
Lower Post.
Lower Post?
Yes, that's in northern BC. It's about 15 miles south of Watson.
How old were you when you started there?
I went to school there when I was 4 years old.
And how many years were you there?
I was there for 4 years.
Do you remember what your first day was like when you started residential school?
I remember my first day. I don't remember what kind of vehicle I went in there. But I remember my first day. I was riding with a bunch of kids, and we got off in front of that school, residential school, and I was feeling really confused and emotional. I remember because I was wondering where we were going. And I remember, like, we were going to the school, but I didn't know what kind of school it was. And I was kind of excited too because my older sisters went to that school, and I thought it was a good school. And when I got off that bus or whatever vehicle that I rode to going to that school, I remember just going up the steps to this residential school, and I looked up and I saw this big building, and I just got scared, and I thought, like, I want to be with my parents. And I went in with the other kids, and I remember we were in lineup, and it was really scary for me. It was just, even the first day, it was traumatic.
Could you tell me about what a typical day would be like for you from morning till evening?
It was stressful. It was terrifying. It was just traumatic because I didn't know what to expect, and I just knew that I just felt scared for my safety because I remember the first day or the first couple of days we had to line up, and we had to get our number, and we had to line up and we had to get our number, and we had to get our hair checked for lice. And then I remember Sister Alco, the nun that was my supervisor, like, she made sure we were all in lineup. And I remember kids getting their haircuts, and I remember being showered and just scrubbed, cleaned, or just scrubbed till my skin was just red and raw. And I remember I was in this, like, Sister Alco took our showers or asked us to take our shower, and I had to wash my hair with Colada lice shampoo, even though I didn't have lice. And I remember just being really traumatized and scared, like, and every day it seemed like I was scared because Sister Elko was really mean and cruel. And And I just remember from morning till night, it was just regimented. Like, we had to follow rules. We had to wake up about 6 o'clock in the morning. Then 7 o'clock, we had to go to Mass. We had to go to the chapel. And then I think it was 7 or 7:30, we had breakfast. And after breakfast, we had to go to class. And it was just rules and regulations. I just felt like I was in a concentration camp or some kind of army camp.
For those 4 years, were you allowed? Did you go home over the summer or at holiday time? Or?
Yes, went home for Christmas and summer. And for Christmas, it was like we went home for about 10 days. And then in the summer, went home in June till September. And I really enjoyed my summer holidays with my parents. But I just dreaded going back to that school in September. Like towards the end of August, like when we knew we had to go back to school, I just dreaded going back to school.
And your parents, at that time when you were having to go back to school, how were, as a family, how were you all dealing with that, with you having to go back to school?
I think we were all just really devastated. Like, I think my parents really, they didn't really have a choice but to send us there, because I learned after that my parents would have been thrown in jail if they didn't send us kids there. And it was really hard for us, but we had to go to school. Like, my parents didn't have a choice but to send us there. And I remember it was really hard for me to go back to school because it was so horrific there.
Do you have any particular memories or experience at the residential school that you want to share?
Yes, like some of the experiences I went there were just really horrific. I saw a lot of atrocities happen at school, and I saw a lot of suffering. I was traumatized there too. I was sexually and physically abused at that school, and some of the ways we were punished were like if we spoke in our language, some of us kids had our mouth washed out with soap, and they just punished us for any reason too, for anything, like just for being kids. If we laughed or if we expressed ourselves, or if we expressed our opinion or even showed any joy or laughter, we'd get punished for that. And then they just used it as an excuse to punish us. And Sister Elko, I remember her always whacked me on the head with her fists or her palms, and she'd always hit me on my arm, like right here. Every day, like she always picked on me, and I remember her always, like, she had this paddle they used to play ping pong with, or badminton, and ping pong, and she used that wooden paddle to always whack me on the arms or on my backside, And sometimes she'd punch me in the head with her fists, or whack me on the head with her open palms, like really hard too. Like just she just whacked me around with her fists and her palms. And sometimes she'd use a ruler. And we were, us like girls, were just terrified of her. And some of the ways they punished us too was, I remember, to keep us sitting still in kindergarten or in class. They'd stick straight pins in our thighs, our hips, and our backside to keep us sitting still. And for punishment, sometimes I had to wash the gym floor with a glass of soapy water and a toothbrush. And sometimes, like in the stairways too, the stairs, there was 3 flights of stairs. The school had, it was 3 stories. Sometimes I had to wash the stairways with glass of soapy water and toothbrush. And sometimes too, for punishment, we had to sit on rulers for hours. And I remember one time my cousin, she had impetigo. She had sores on her head. And Sister Elko shaved her hair off with electric razor. And I remember my cousin just screaming, and there was just blood and pus on the floor beneath her chair, like around her chair. And like I was, like I just felt like Sister Alco picked on me a lot, and I remember her words too. To this day, I remember her. She always used to, she'd tell me, "You'll never amount to anything, Lady Jane," and she'd just whack me on the head, and then she'd say, she'd call me a harlot and a little flirt. And here I was 5 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. I didn't even know what those words meant till I became a teenager. I read a lot when I was a teenager, and I looked up those words in a dictionary, and I learned what those words were. But Sister Elko, she was really mean and cruel, and she humiliated me. Sometimes, like for punishment too, if any of the girls passed gas in their underwear, we had to stand in the dormitory for hours with our soiled underwear on our heads. And sometimes kids that wet their beds, they had to walk through the dormitory, the dorm and the dining room with their soiled sheets on their head. And sometimes we ate spoiled food. Like I remember eating spoiled soup. It tastes sort of like spoiled rotten food, and we had to eat that too. Spoiled soup. Sometimes kids had to steal from the garden because we were hungry most of the time there, and kids had to steal. Like some kids stole carrots or apples from the kitchen, or just to just to, you know, because we were hungry most of the time too. And I remember eating porridge. That's what I ate most of the time. Porridge for breakfast. And to this day, I'm still traumatized. I still have PTSD. I still have nightmares. I have anxiety attacks. But I've been on my healing journey since 1990, when I sobered up. Like what I went through at residential school affected every aspect of my life.
So maybe we could talk about that, a bit about your healing journey since residential school.
Since I sobered up, I've been on this healing journey, and it's about 15 years, I guess. And since I sobered up and stopped drinking, I've been going back to school. I got back into my artwork, and I'm a writer too, so I write. And I haven't written anything for a while, but I have a book of poems that I'd like to publish. And I have 2 sons too that I have to look after, that I feel I'm just getting to know too. Like my sons and I, we were separated when they were young. And residential school affected my parenting skills. So, and my son's dad took them to Ontario, so I'm just starting to get to know my sons now and trying to rebuild our relationship. And a lot of good things have been happening. And I believe the Creator's opened up doors for me with my artwork. Sometimes it gets kind of overwhelming, but I live a day at a time, you know. And it's my faith in the Creator that keeps me going. And my art too, it helps me to cope. Helps me to cope with all the memories and the trauma I went through at the school. And it helps me with my healing.
So it's a way of expressing yourself through your art.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Mary, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, I just wanted to say that there was a lot of other traumatic things that I experienced at the school, but that I'm still working on yet, that I'm still working on my healing yet. And I just feel that I have a long way to go yet on my healing, but I've been on this healing journey for many years, and throughout the years, I had a lot of teachers and mentors that have helped me. And I went through years of treatment or therapy too for my issues and my experience that I went through at the school. But I'm a survivor, you know. I just believe that I survived that experience, and if I could survive that, I could survive anything. And I believe that I have a purpose, and that purpose to help my people to heal too. through my art and through my writings. And I want to be able to help my family. And, you know, I want to get to know my sons again. And I want to, I guess, like help my family too in some way, to help them on their healing journey. So I'm still healing, you know. Still working on my healing, even after all these years. Like, the pain will always be there, you know. Like, but you know, I'm, like I said, I'm a survivor. Still got a long way to go yet, and I still have a lot to learn yet. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Did you want to talk at all anything more about the conference or your feelings on that? You were talking about how you see some people here that you were in school with. As part of your healing journey, like conferences like this, you know, they have a purpose. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, like it's always kind of stressful and kind of overwhelming to come to these kind of conferences, healing conferences, because it always stirs up memories and stirs up emotions, stirs up feelings for me. But I just feel like it's given me strength too, like to come forward more and to express myself and to talk about it, because I kind of like I isolate myself for a long time, and I just feel that it's time for me to start getting out there, start telling my story and start sharing my story. And I feel that it's these conferences helps me to work on my issues and to regain strength, I guess. Like, because I'm still on this healing journey, you know. Like, I'm still learning, I'm still healing, I'm still growing yet. You know, I just, sometimes when I come to these conferences, I feel like I'm a little girl again. Like I'm that child again, back there. But like now I'm an adult and I gotta try to put the pieces of my childhood back together again. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I understand.
so I'm just kind of tired too, you know, because I've been on this healing journey for so many years. Like, I just think, when is it gonna ever end, you know? But I just feel that, like, by sharing my story, I might be able to help other survivors.
Well, I'm glad you came to share your story.
Yes,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Yes, yeah.
Miigwech.
Miigwech too.